Hi, good morning YouTube friends. Yeah, can you believe we're in September already? Start of a new season, we are in spring. And so I think August, what was the big thing? August was provisional tax time, so there was a lot of provisional taxes that had to be done, all the normal returns. And I think for this month, there's not really any big deadlines coming up in September. I think the only thing that's looming on the horizon is the personal tax deadline that's coming up in October. So we are running out of time. So if you still have to do your personal tax returns, now's the time to start looking at it. Let's quickly continue. Yeah, so the commentary for all the August questions. Let me quickly run through the questions and then we can see what I can answer for you guys today. Tech solutions. So thank you for thank you. Oh, this is on the UIF videos. So thank you. I've already done my application via uFiling, which is cool. About 18 days ago, and I haven't gotten a response. However, I have serious concerns as I basically saw an employee that I didn't work for, but there was payments being made from them, and up till March I was for RCL. However, they're missing 6 payments until then. However, this is the other company has made payments for missing months. Is there a concern, and should I be concerned about that? I don't think you need to be too concerned. As long as your application is in and your paperwork is fine, then don't worry too much about the other people. Those guys, at all the departments at the moment, they're getting jacked up with their systems, so people who's taking chances, who's not making payments and stuff, they are definitely coming after those people. I've seen it now in the past month. I think I had 2 of my clients who actually had Department of Labour inspections, where the guys from UIF actually pitch at the office and they want to see whether all their paperwork and stuff is up to speed or up to date. So, and I think especially post-COVID, I think they're putting a lot of effort into making sure that companies are compliant with the UIF stuff. Yeah, so as long as your application is in, maybe it might be a good idea maybe just to phone the Department of Labour and just ask them the progress on your application, because it's been 18 days. And you just Google for the Department of Labour's phone number, and then the best advice is to phone 8 o'clock in the morning, ask them only once they open up before the call center becomes busy. Let's quickly see. Second question was from Dylan Vosloo. Starting a business, which structure to use? Baie dankie vir 'n baie goeie video, Heinrich. Ek wil net weet, indien 'n paar companies registreer, elke company doen iets anders, word die belasting gesplit tussen die companies of word bymekaar getel en op hele bedrag belas? Nee. Elke, so Dylan is basically just asking if you register separate companies, whether they put everything into one pot and tax everything together, but the answer is no, because remember, each company is a separate legal entity, so therefore each one has its own tax number and will be taxed separately. So if you make a profit in the one, loss in the other one, the one with the profit will be paying tax on, the one with the loss, that loss will carry over to the next year, then only once you use that loss, you will start paying tax on the second company. Amanda, let's quickly see, 0, okay, here we go. I have a small transport company, Road Truck. Please advise on which will be the best software to use my business between Xero and Sage. We'll be looking for recommendations on accountant or tax consultant. Yeah, so accounting systems, we at our office prefer to use Sage, but a lot of people work on Xero and they're very happy on it. I think just Xero is more geared up for bigger type of businesses, where I think Sage is more user-friendly for beginner type of businesses. There's more stuff that you can do wrong on Xero. That's just my personal opinion. And so I think if you're looking for an accountant, go check out our website, saaccountingnetwork.co.za, and have a look and see. Choose an accountant there, and then they can hook you up, make sure that you get your stuff sorted out. Home office expenses. Miracle, how can we get in touch with you in regards to sponsoring some of your YouTube videos? Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, send me an email, Heinrich at SA Tax Returns, and we can have a chat and see what we can do. It'd be lovely to have a chat with you and just see what you have in mind. But it's cool. Yeah, get in touch with me. It'll be good. Let's quickly see July questions. How do I delete a duplicate supply invoice? So duplicate supply invoice. So if you had to go into Sage, let me quickly pop in here, and let's say for instance you've got supply invoices over here, and for some reason you've captured a second supply invoice that's not supposed to be there. Let's say for instance the top one. You basically, you see on the right hand side, let me just move myself. There's the thing that says it's a create supply return. So if you click that button, it will return the supply invoice. You see, so normally that would be the right way to do that. Under some circumstances, because you're working with purchases on your side and you're not really going to be reconciling this, no, you will be reconciling it to your supplier statement. So you do have an option over here to go to press the edit button over there, and then from there you'll be able to edit the amounts and stuff like that. But as soon as this supply invoice falls into a locked period. So if you're working with VAT, let's say for instance you captured the VAT for June and July, and the supply invoice is in the month of July, and we now in August, you already submitted the return, then you don't really want to go fiddle with previous returns, you see. So then just put a credit or return, the supply return in, and then just capture the right one. That's the best, because then you've got a paper trail. Like I say, you can go mint this amount to make that amount zero, but it's not ideal, because otherwise you can have the supply invoices without data on. And then if people ask questions, you don't want to open up a can of worms in the books. You want to try and keep things as simple as possible inside the books. Yes, yeah, so supply return, that is the way that you would do that one. Let's quickly see various questions. I like to pass an opening adjustment entry. Can I pass? I can't pass a journal to retained earnings because it's a systems account. How do I bypass this? So I'm not sure whether we'll be able to have the functionality here in your, no, we do in the demo company. But if you go in the company, there's the screen over there where you can put in opening balances. You see, so you're obviously going to change the date. You're going to, if you brought the stuff through, let's say for instance 28th of February, you'll change the date over there. Then you'll see obviously this what you put in here has got a balance down to zero. So you can see now at the moment it's showing you out of balance by 8.5 million rand. So if that was retained earnings, then that you will put that amount in there to make the retained earnings, to bring the balance in for the retained earnings. So that is basically how you would do it. Because I mean, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't go fiddle with retained earnings. Yeah, so but that's normally something that your accountant would actually help you set up, It's not something that the normal type of people that work on Sage would be working with. How do you delete a portfolio on SARS e-filing account? So what you would normally have to do is, the first thing is that portfolio, you must make sure that you've got no tax numbers linked to that. As soon as you have a tax number linked to a portfolio, there's no way you can delete it. So somebody else will have to transfer the tax number over to their profile, because it must be linked to some profile. And once it's like a blank profile that you've got, then under portfolio management, you should be able to delete it over there. Yeah, but as soon as there's a tax number linked to it, there's no way you can delete that thing. How do you transfer cash from one bank account to another? So that's part of the banking one. So let me quickly pop into Sage. We're just going to go to banking. So if I'm working with banking and I decide that I'm transferring money, so let's say for instance I've got a bank account and I've got a cash account that I'm working with. Let's quickly go to new transactions. I just want to just go to the last one. So let's say for instance we decide we're going to draw cash, and we say cash, and then you see over here is a button where it says transfer, and then you can transfer, then you can decide into which account you want to transfer. You see there's a petty cash account. So let's say for instance you move money into an investment account. You would select the investment account. I'm just going to say petty cash for our example over here. And then we're going to say that we are putting, let's say for instance 10,000 Rand into the amount that we withdraw. So now if I go to my bank accounts at the top of here, now go to my petty cash account, then you'll see that there's the 10,000 Rand the transfer that I did now. You see, so it moves it from one account over to the other account, and obviously all the cash expenses you will be capturing over there. I'm actually about to release my new video on banking. I redid that video as well, so I do explain it in there as well. So yes, we were busy with the banking video, so I actually redid this video. So Peter, just keep an eye out. I'm going to send that video out soon. Marty, starting businesses, business structures. Now I've registered a company, but not sure if it was the right thing to do. I have a contract with an overseas company and get one salary in US dollars every month. Should I rather change over to sole proprietor? I would think that if you are a South African and you're working for an overseas company, I think both vehicles has got pros and cons. Sole proprietor is going to be more basic because you have one return that you have to just submit for yourself. So on your return, you can convert the US dollar amount to the South African currency amount. So if it's R1 million, you're going to put that onto your return, and that's the tax that you're going to pay. If it is through a company, the company is going to receive the R1 million. You're probably going to have to put in a couple of expenses like your internet and maybe telephone and stuff, expenses that you have to incur to produce that income, and then the amount that's left over, let's say for instance there's 900,000 Rand, either the company is going to have to pay company tax on it, or you're going to have to take a salary out as the director of that company, and then you're going to have to pay tax on the amount that you're taking out of the company in any case. Yeah, so I think I think if you work for more than one client, then I think maybe a company is the better option to do. But if you're only working for one overseas company, only get one source of income, then yeah, I think a company might be a bit of an overkill. But I mean, there's pros and cons to each one of those. Maybe you must get in touch with your accountant, just have a chat with him. You know, there's always a lot of different opinions of what the best structure is to use. Kwanda Shabalala, there's Quiggy C, Business Rescue. Oh yes, Kunrad van Beek, this guy's amazing. When it comes to business rescue, he's definitely the guy that you have to speak to. Month-end procedures. Marianne Snyman, so I need to send a statement to run to different person as the email address created on the customer information list, either orders, invoices, etc. goes to sales rep, but the statement run to the accounts person. How do I get the benefit of preloaded email address but for different purposes? If I put more than one email address in the customer's list information, both rep and accounts receive the statement. The statement should go to a specific person other than the representative or manager. Thank you. Yeah, so that is a really good question. How are you going to do that? If you go to customers and you go to reports, and you see there's two buttons there. There's a one that says customer statement run, so that will run all the statements at the same time. Then you've got a second one here which is customer statement. So you can maybe try that, because now you can go select a statement that you want to run, and then over here it doesn't actually give me the option to put in the email. I think it's because I'm working on the demo over here. But then you can maybe just change the email address there, but every time you send it, you're going to have to change it manually, you see. So I don't think there's a way, as far as I'm aware, that you can put in different email addresses and send different statements, like one to the reps, one to the accounts department. I think the only other way is to maybe download the statements and then you type an email yourself and say, listen, here it is, but then you're making double work. Cool, yeah, so I think that would be my suggestion. I'm not sure whether there's a workaround for that one, but a really good question. I never thought about that. Yeah, thanks, Marianne, for that question. Ty, please remember to breathe that side, otherwise a great talk. Cool, yeah, thanks for the comment. I will send the message to them and remind them just to breathe as well. I don't know if you're referring to me, whether I should maybe take a breath, but cool, yeah, we always appreciate positive criticism. Starting a business, extremely useful, thank you. Vam Fox Ely. Cool, man. Yeah, glad you enjoyed the talk. I really enjoy talking about business structures. That's really cool. Tax returns 2022. So this is the talk that I did with my friend Jasper. I just registered on e-filing and received my tax number and notice of registration. I would like to know if I have to submit supporting documents. I know I will be taxed, but I'm not sure where to check how much I will be taxed. I'm new to SARS and I don't want to end up being one of the people that owe SARS money. So African Indian. So what my suggestion would be is, if you log into e-filing and you can see your returns, then it should be fine. But normally if you register a new profile, then you first have to link the tax number. But on the work page itself, there should be a button that you can press to say link my tax number to this profile, then it should be fine. Supporting documents, if you log in, the first screen will actually tell you whether they're asking for supporting documents. So it would normally be a copy of your ID, your bank details, proof of address. That's normally what they ask for before they even activate the profile, you see. So that is what my suggestion would be. I did a video where if you just search it as how to get your tax number in 2 minutes, if you look at that video, I actually go through the registration process on e-filing, then you can see what it looks like when you log into the system, you know, the place where they ask for the documents and stuff. So if yours doesn't look like that, then I'm sure that your profile should be fine already. Yeah, that is what my advice would be. Otherwise, get in touch with the tax consultant so they can help you. That's why we can say, yeah. Koenie Janse van Rensburg. Hey, this was my Zone Radio interview that I did. This was something really cool. It was something different, but I enjoyed it. So my question, not sure if I've mentioned it in one of your videos. I just opened my PTY Limited company for real estate. Now, all my years as an employer, I've earned commission, and now as a business owner, the commission will be paid into the business account. My question is, should I pay myself? Is it better to have a fixed salary every month? We'll need a tax directive as well. When earning a fixed salary, and what happens to the months I can't pay myself as property sales registers randomly? Or is it better to pay me at all and borrow money from my business every time when I need money? Not sure if you can do it like that. So Kuni, I would suggest that you get in touch with your accountant and have a chat with him and just see how to structure that business. You see, because I can't remember if I talked about this. I think I did talk about it in this interview, that the ideal thing is to try and fix your salary. Let's say, for instance, you say that you're going to fix your salary on 20,000 Rand per month. So whether there comes in 80,000 Rand or whether there comes in 10,000 Rand, you just take out 20,000 Rand. Then what you do is once every 6 months or once a year, let's say, for instance, December, then you sit with your accountant, do some calculations. Let's say, for instance, there's a surplus of 200,000 Rand in your account, then you can make some decisions of how to treat that money, whether to take it out once off as a big bonus or whether you want to leave the 200,000 Rand inside your business and to be able to buy stuff for future growth, maybe upgrade your website or buy office or something like that, So I think first step is I would try and maybe fix your salary and then from there have a look at it over a period of months, because now if you're going to take the maximum amount out of your business every month, depending on how many sales you've made, then you're not really giving your business the opportunity to grow. And I think that is the problem or the risk that you've got there, you see. Because I know real estate businesses, it does fluctuate, it goes up and down. I'm very wary about tax directives. I know that estate agents love working with tax directives, but that's in my opinion, is a very big risk, because remember that they issue you a tax directive based on the previous year's taxable income. So you're either going to be overtaxed or you're going to be undertaxed. So if your income for the previous year, let's say this was R1 million, SARS might issue you a tax directive to say that you may have to withhold 30% tax. I'm just taking that as an example. But now for the full year, let's say for instance you only earn 100,000 Rand, then you're going to be paying 30,000 Rand over to tax. So if you just use the normal tax tables, your tax might be 3,000 Rand, you see. So then you're like over, then you have to sit and fight with the receiver of revenue to get the money back. And vice versa as well. If your taxable income for the previous year was low, let's say for instance you only earned 100,000 Rand, and you apply for a tax directive, they'll give you the minimum, let's say for instance 18%. But now you can make 2 million Rands worth of sales commission, and now your tax on that 2 million Rand, you should be paying 45% tax. But because the tax directive said 18%, they only deducted 18%, so then you're going to sit with a deficit or a shortfall of 300,000-400,000 Rand. I've seen it once before with somebody who I did tax returns for. She got a tax directive, a really low one, and then she went and earned like 1.5 million Rand worth of commission the next year. And she sat with a tax bill of about 300,000 Rand that she had to pay back to SARS because the tax directive deducted too little tax. So just be careful. I know there are guys that work with tax directives. I personally am not fond of it because you're just exposing yourself to a lot of risk if you're doing that. But chat to your accountant, see what their opinion is. The Bible says that the war is won through many counselors. So the more people's opinion you can get on that, the better informed decision you can make about that. Shavesh, let's quickly see business structures. Hi, any funding for business help? Any government grant funding for businesses? Please kindly let me know. Funding is always a tricky thing. Maybe have a look at this video that I did over here, this interview. If you had to Google Steve Reed, so he runs a system. I'm probably still going to do an interview with him, but where they do business incubating, where you just Google for business incubation programs, and then there's a lot of different places out there that actually help small business to get started. I think I can maybe just point in that direction. So search for Steve Reed, see if you can get in touch with him. Otherwise, just look for business incubation programs and see if you can maybe come right there. January, February questions. What wanted if they ask for detailed financial schedule, statement of other expenses incurred in the tax period included in the relevant invoices and receipts relating to the deductions claimed, looking also for a sample of it for commission earner. Danwell? So that detailed financial schedule or statement of other expenses, you would have to basically give them a breakdown month to month to say that what was your telephone expenses, what was all the stuff that's on your tax return. And then you see over there they say including relevant invoices. If you've got an expense there, let's say for instance you've got stationery on your tax return to say 10,000 or 1,000 Rand for the year, then you're going to have to give them a list of the stationery expenses. Let's say for instance there was 10 invoices of 100 Rand, scan those invoices through and put it through to the receiver of revenue, because they obviously want to check to make sure that your expenses that you're claiming are valid expenses. Obviously get in touch with the tax consultant. He's the guy that will definitely be able to assist you with that process. Denville, same guy. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Nisa, Africa, 5 money mistakes. After you register a company, are there any documents or submissions one has to submit to SARS? If the company is not yet trading, is setting up an e-filing important, and should it be done immediately? So, remember, as soon as you register a company, you get your registration certificate from SIPC. At the same day, they normally issue you with a company tax number as well. So you should be either receiving SMS or an email from the receiver of revenue to say, listen, congratulations, here's your income tax number. I would suggest that you get the e-filing set up as soon as possible. So you log into your e-filing profile, you'll see there's a place over there we can say add a company to the profile. They're going to ask for some documents, or before you can normally get access, if you go to the SARS website, there's a place over here on the SARS website where you need to activate the representative before you can do anything further with that company. So you need to go over here, so online services, you see, where is it? Register representative. So you need to press that button over here. And then this document over here is you're going to have to say request the updated registered representative. You're going to say that you are the main member. I wonder why they don't have a director. Main partner. I would say main member, because remember, members are normally the members of CCS. It's just weird that they haven't got directors. Enter the details. You're going to put the name of your company, the type of company over there, income tax number. You can see ID type, company registration number. So the registration number you got from SIPC, the representative contact details. So this will be your stuff, and then representative additional details. Then these documents over here is the registration documents, proof of address. If you don't have anything in the name of the company, there's a document that you need to download. Amen. CRA01. So you need to download this form. They call it the CRA01 form, and then you complete this form to give confirmation of the business's address. So you complete this form, put maybe your personal municipal account or something together with it, copy of your ID, and then you upload those documents over there. You see, then normally from here, it takes about 3 weeks for them to activate it. There is another way. I did a video on it as well. If you go to YouTube and say how to update the representative, then you'll see I did a video, so there's another way to do it as well. But once that is done, then you will be able to link that company to your e-filing profile. You see, because the problem is, if you wait, remember in August there's a return that you need to file, in February there's a return you need to file. So now, if you wait until now it's already the 4th of September. Let's say, for instance, you wake up on the 30th of August and now you realize, oh dear, I never did my provisional tax return. And then you want to start fiddling with e-filing, and then it's going to take 3 weeks before you can get access to this stuff. And the problem is that this stuff, you tend to forget about it. So my suggestion is that rather try and get it out as early as possible, so that you can know at least when the time comes to do those returns that you are good to go. So even if it's not trading, remember, the tax number is active with the receiver of revenues. Even if it's not trading, you still have to submit the returns. You'll submit them as 0 returns, because we've seen it now already that they start penalizing people for not submitting returns, even if the companies are dormant. So you must be really, really careful with that. Mfundo Molefe, starting a business structures. Awesome, man. Thank you for the comment. I'm really glad you enjoyed the video. Nuri, my friend, let's quickly see. Suppliers. Thank you. Your tutorials are awesome. You have assisted me so much during the past few months. When I started Sage Accounting, I'm feeling a lot more confident. Thank you. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's lekker to chat here. I really appreciate your comments. It's really good. How does income tax work? So if your business income is 300,000 Rand a year, do you still pay tax? So the question is not about your income. The question is, Zulu, about your taxable income. So if you've got 300,000 Rand turnover, but let's say you only have 100,000 Rand worth of expenses and sitting with a profit of 200,000 Rand, then that 200,000 Rand will be taxed at the company tax rate. If you're sitting with 300,000 Rand turnover and you've got 350,000 Rand worth of expenses, it means you're sitting with a loss of 50,000 Rand, so then there won't be any tax payable. You would actually have a loss that will carry over to the next year. So it's 50-50. If you make a profit, you must pay tax. So it's not about turnovers. Remember, turnover, the only thing that's linked to turnover is value-added tax. So as soon as your turnover exceeds R1 million in a 12-month period, you must register for value-added tax. So that's the only place where turnover is really relevant. So for company tax, they look at the bottom line. For VAT, they look at the top line. So you must just remember that. Tax consultant Abdul, let's quickly see. I really enjoy your content and information. Where can I reach out to you? As I've registered a business with SIPSI, I just need guidance on the best way forward regarding tax and VAT. Yes. So Abdul, go check out our website, saaccountingnetwork.co.za, and I'll quickly show you. So if you go to our website over here, you can see there's a little contact us button. There's the contact us button. And then down here, you can just have a look and see which of one of these branches are the closest to you. Press one of the buttons, you will end up with one of the accountants on the network, and then they will be able to send you a message. Otherwise, you can pop me an email as well. My email is heinrich@tax911 or sataxreturns.co.za. Then I can get in touch with somebody that can help you. Cool, man. Yeah, but thanks for asking. July questions. I recently started working from Nombulelo, a teacher in the government. When I received my payslip, I saw that I was taxed, but I don't have a tax reference number. Do I register with SARS or do I wait for my employer to do something? So you've got two choices. When they do their reconciliations every 6 months, if you have people working for you that hasn't got a tax number, then they will get you a tax number automatically. Or you can go look at this video over here, because I explained to you the process of how to get a tax number. It's quick. It's not a difficult thing. You must just make sure that you keep the tax number. Don't lose it. Otherwise, you might have problems to retrieve it again from the receiver of revenue at some stage. Budget highlights. Yo, this is old video. What is a detailed schedule statement? And I think I did answer that question quickly a bit earlier. And then over there, I also did answer that question a bit earlier. Futsilu Munyai. Just quickly see what video is that. Oh, workman compensation. I formed a new company. I want to apply for tenders, but I want a UIF registration and a letter of good standing. Can I get them? So, if you go into my website over here, the girl that is in Mossel Bay, let me quickly see, Tanya Bushman, she is the girl that can help you with those things, with the UIF registration and with your workman compensation, the letter of good standing. You can do it yourself. You can go to the Department of Labour, fill in the application form, and say, listen, I want to get a UIF registration certificate. And then obviously letter of good standing is workman compensation. It just takes a long time, especially the workman compensation. This government department is really, they are battling at the moment. So if you don't know the system, then you're going to battle to get that stuff sorted out quick. So my advice is get in touch with that girl. She does it every day. She does all our clients' returns for us, or our UIF applications and workman compensation, and then she can get you sorted out there. Yeah, and I think that's all the questions for now. Yeah, thanks once again for all the questions. I really love answering them, and I think that hopefully you guys get value in these videos as well. Once again, remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again soon. Cheers.